Today, let's do a little deep dive into the internet process. And no, I'm not going to share a bunch of boring facts with you and statistics, because I'm willing to bet that most salespeople or most people handling these internet leads either A, don't believe the stats, or can care less about the stats because they're just judging it based on what they see while they're handling the leads, good or bad. Welcome to Car Talk, where I give you my 20 years of experience on my 20-minute drive to work, good or bad, depending on how they handle the leads. Now, in some sort of fashion, I would assume that you have a process to handle these leads. Maybe you have an internet manager, maybe you have a BDC department, maybe you have a combination of BDC and salespeople helping out, or maybe the salespeople just handle leads A to Z. The first thing that we get told with the internet leads is time to get back to the customer, right? They say you got to answer the lead within 15 minutes. Got to be quick, because you got to be the first one to strike, first one to get a hold of these people. Which, yes, I agree. Time is something that is very important in these leads. But I think just as important as the time is the quality of the message that you're sending the customer. And once you get the engagement, which is actually the hardest part of the internet lead, if you guys would agree with that, the hardest part is getting the actual engagement, is getting the customer to opt into a text, getting the customer to respond back to the email, getting the customer to answer some unknown number that they think is spam to answer the phone. But before we get into the actual engagement part, let's sit down and think about this from the customer's point of view. Why does a customer, or anyone by that means, go onto the internet and inquire on something? Think about yourself, okay? Think about yourself when you're looking to buy something and you're shopping the internet. Do you use Amazon? If you use Amazon, why do you use Amazon? I use it for convenience. I use it because I know I'm going to probably get it next day. I know I'm going to get free shipping. But have you ever, if you use Amazon, have you ever stopped and price compared? It's not always the cheapest either. Just the other day, my wife sent me an electric scooter on Amazon, and it was $399. And I decided I was going to buy it, but at first I went to TikTok. Okay? Kind of like shopping for a car. I went to TikTok shop, never used it before, just to see how much a scooter like that would be. So I went on there and found it for $198. So I saved myself $100 by getting it from TikTok shop. Also got free shipping. Also got a little discount. Now, I was a little bit more nervous going on TikTok shop because I've never used it. But it seemed fine. It seemed the exact same. Placed the order, and even my wife says, "Hey, well, hopefully we get the product and it's not a scam." So a trust factor on the internet plays a huge role. And I say that because your customer is sitting at home, cruising the internet, shopping for a car. How long do you think they've been looking for that car? And what kind of trust factor do they put into your dealership if they actually submit a lead? If they submit the inquiry on the car, there has to be some level that they trust your dealership and your listing to click on that. But the time that it took for them to do that, right, without getting all to the boring stats, is probably like a week. They probably cruise the internet looking around, thinking about it, right? Thinking about price, thinking about colors, thinking about options, especially if it's a used car. right? Think about it. If you decided today, you're driving your vehicle to work and you're like, I think I want to get a new vehicle. Okay? Maybe you got somebody to talk to. Maybe your husband, your wife, you got to talk to them about, hey, what do you think? I want to get a new vehicle. You know what? Sure, great idea. What do you want to get? Well, I'm not sure yet. Okay, we'll start shopping around and just see what you want to get. If you're in that mode, do you want to go to the dealership? No, you don't even know what you want. So you go online, you start looking around, and you start thinking about, okay, I'd like to get this, I'd like to get this, I'd like to get that. Then you start seeing a couple options. You see the body styles, you see the colors. Next thing you know, you're looking at the prices. That price is too high. And then maybe that price is too high because I think the payment's going to be too high based on what I'm getting shown online. So then you kind of start narrowing your search down and you're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I like the gray. Kind of also like this other color that they have. Looking at the options, looking at the prices, looking at the miles of the cars, and you kind of land on one. You're like, you know what? This one is this one might be in the wheelhouse. Let me see if it's still available. Because I think that's a question that the customers have a lot, is it still available? Because in the past, they've had the experience where they go to the dealership, it's still available, and they get there and it just sold. So they put in an inquiry after about a week of searching and kind of narrowing it down to thinking, man, this would be a nice option. Not that they even said, this is the one I'm buying. Just that it's a nice option in their mind, right? Like, yeah, this would be one that I would consider. So they click the internet. They do it, at home. 7 o'clock at night, they put the lead in. Your dealership's already closed. You get back to the dealership. You open the store at 8:30. You don't think about if the customer, maybe they're working. Maybe they, they got something going on. Maybe they're sleeping. You send them the internet process. Hopefully you follow the process to a T. Hopefully you send them a email. Hopefully you send them an opt-in text. Hopefully you try to call them. And hopefully if the vehicle's available, you're actually sending them a nice walk around video to showing them that, hey, here's the car. Point out any flaws that you see. Yes, the car is here. And if you can go one step further, sending them a video of you and your face, even if it's quick, just to say, hey, this is Ryan here at such and such dealership. Mark, thanks for putting in an inquiry. I just wanted to put a face with the name, so if you ever happen to stop into the dealership, you would know exactly who you're talking to. Hopefully you do that. My guess is you pick one or two of those, and that's probably what you roll with. But hopefully, if you want to sell the car, you do all of those. And the reason to do all of those, build trust, but find out how they want to communicate. At the end of the day, do you care? Do you care if they want to talk text, phone, email? What if they want to talk Zoom? Do you care? I would assume if you're going to sell them a car, you could care less how they want to communicate. So anyway, you send all that out, and then boom, there it is. Engagement. Customer opts in text and says yes. Your first message to the customer better not be, hey Mark, this vehicle is still is available. Is there a time that would work for you to stop and check it out? Do you want to come in and look at it? Stop sending this message right away. If they wanted to do that, they would have already stepped foot in your dealership. They wouldn't have signed up for you to spam them with a bunch of texts and emails and all this, right? Even though that's what we got to do, they wouldn't have signed up for that. They just would have stepped into the dealership and said, hey, is this car here? I want to take a look at it. I'm ready to buy it. But instead, they put it in a lead, and they probably put some notes in their inquiry. And your first message to the customer is going to be, do you want to stop in and look at it? Question number one, do you even know where these people live, this person? Do you know where they live? Are they within vicinity of your dealership? Are they busy at the moment? Do you know that? Are they working at the moment? Do you even know if this is the actual car that they're interested in, or if they were just kind of curious about it? Do you know that? Do you know that if they bought this vehicle that they're going to replace something that they have now? Do you know why they decided to shop on the internet and not just come in person? Do you know kind of some hesitations that they're trying to work through? Credit, monthly payments, trade-in value, negative equity. Do you know any of that? Do you know that most customers don't want to step foot in the dealership because they don't want to waste half their day battling back and forth trying to negotiate a deal? Do you know that? So why would you ask them to come in right away? Now listen, I'm not saying don't set the appointment and don't ask for it. But the first thing you're going to do, you don't go out to the bars and go meet a guy or a girl, walk right up to him and ask him to go home with you. You don't do that. So why do that on the internet process? Why do you rush it? Why do you rush the process so much? I don't understand. Why is your time so valuable? Your time is so much more valuable than the customer's. Why? You're at work all day long. It takes a second to 2 seconds to type a text, to type an email and send it. Why not get to know the customer? Why are they even trading in the vehicle if they have one? Why are they trading it in? What made them land on this vehicle? Why did they pick your dealership? How long have they been looking? Do they prefer to do the deal all online, or do they want to do it in person? Are they already pre-approved, or would they need help with that? There's so many questions that you should be asking these customers before you ask them to come in. Because what if the customer wants to just do the whole deal online before they get there? So when they get there, they can save time. This is something that's out there and that wants to happen. I see so many Facebook posts on customers that say, hey, I used Carvana for the first time. I love it. 15 minutes to buy the car online, showed up at my house, 15 minutes to drop it off. They're out of my way. I got 7 days return policy on it. Beautiful thing. Now we can say, oh, they don't do the inspection like the dealership. What if something goes wrong? The paperwork process is terrible. All these things are terrible. But guess what the customer isn't going to do? Believe you. They're not going to believe you unless they've experienced that. They're going to believe a salesperson that's telling them, oh, the most convenient way to buy a car is a terrible process. Everything is terrible. Because in their minds, if it was so terrible, why would they still be in business? So think about that. They probably use Amazon just like you do because of convenience. So let's make it convenient for the customer. Let's figure out how the customer decides or how they prefer to buy the vehicle. Do they even know that they can do the whole entire deal online? Do they even know that you have the ability to deliver the car? Go on TikTok, go on Facebook or YouTube and see how many auto brokers now are online negotiating car deals. Online and just bad-mouthing salespeople and bad-mouthing dealerships because of the process. And these people charging customers $500 to $1,000 to negotiate the deal online. So all the customer has to do is show up at the dealership, sign the papers, and pick up the car. Customers do not want the hassle, guys. That's the whole reason why they're going online. They think going online speeds the process up, get most of it out of the way, and they don't have to have the hassle. That's what the customers are thinking. That's what they feel. But then they get to your dealership and it's everything but that. It is a hassle. It's the normal process. Nothing's different. If anything, it's actually worse. So if you have a chance to do internet leads at your store, or you are doing them and you're not doing good, take some advice. Selling cars online is about the easiest way to sell a car that I've ever came across. It's crazy that the dealerships still don't have this down. if I was a sales guy, not a manager, I promise you, I wouldn't even mess with anything but the internet. Because I could do so much more volume in a faster time and actually create my own schedule with the customers, because you can get everything wrapped up and you can set your time. You can set the actual appointments and know exactly what's going on in the process of that appointment. Like, are they coming in to test drive it? Are they coming in to basically test drive and wrap it up? You know, you can have so much of the deal already done. During COVID, I did this. Me and the other manager, we did all the internet deals at the dealership, because that was just only two of us there, and that's how we had to do the deals. We had to do them remotely, and that's what taught me, like, man, this is what actually most customers prefer. Now, you are going to get some customers, like I said, that want to come in and they want to do the normal stuff, right? They don't want to mess with the internet, and that's awesome too. Take the customer for where they're at in the process. Stop trying to take the customer where they're at in the process and move them over to your process. Just sell them the car the way they want to buy it. Why is that so difficult? Sell the customer the car the way they want to buy it. It's that easy. So today, refocus your mind. Think about the internet process in the customer standpoint. Make it easy for them and start to build the deal online and like get it wrapped up for them. Don't worry about the gross and this and the control and all the crazy stuff, man, that you guys are thinking about. Like, you know, here's the other thing. The salespeople that have a difficult time selling cars on the internet and don't do a great job or talk crap about it, you sell less than 15. I would be willing to bet that you sell less than 15 cars a month. So if you sell 15 cars a month or less, and you talk about the internet in a terrible fashion and you're negative about it, this video is for you. You need to give it in. And who cares how you feel? If you have a family and you're trying to support them, figure it out. It's 2026, man. The internet's been out forever. An actual business, Carvana, got created because of a problem with inside of car dealerships. They created a massive business to sell used cars because of a problem we created, and we still haven't fixed it. And so then the online broker found another niche, created another business because we can't get our business straight. And we're just letting it happen. We're just letting it happen. But we sit back at our desk and we talk shit and we complain and all this and all that and everything. You created the problem. You allowed Carvana to come in. You allowed these online brokers to come in. Just, it's unbelievable, guys. You have the power at your dealership to fix this. You can be the person. You take an internet lead. Stop asking them if they want to come in right now and look at the car. Stop it. Stop. All right, guys. Hey, if you got any questions, hit me in the comments. Let me know. I would love to help you guys out with this. Just be great. Learn the craft. I promise you, it'll pay off in the long run. All right, guys. Like always, hustle over talent. Let's go. A little bit of your help, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done that, and most importantly, please send this video to 1 or 2 people that you know could really use some motivation, and maybe this video will just help them out. All right, let's get right. One's chasing glory, one's playing the game. One's got the gift, don't break a sweat. The other's out here grinding with nothing left. One wants the crowd, the lights, the fame. The other's in the dark, just building a name. One was born with it, one had to grow. One's got talent, one's got hustle.